Hey guys, this is Derek from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan, and we're taking a look at an AE92 Toyota Corolla, the GTZ version. And so this is what the AE86 became the year after it was the AE86. And kind of interesting car, actually really interesting, very cool car, and I've loved these for a long time. And here in Japan, you get them supercharged, where in America, this car was called the Corolla GTS, different headlights, they were pop-up headlights. It was still a very cool car there, changed over to front-wheel drive, and so I think a lot of people were like, I like the rear-wheel drive version of it. Obviously that is the iconic one, but this one is also very cool, and I think that people really need to take another look at this car because it is still a very lightweight, tossable, front-wheel drive, supercharged sports car and feels amazing and excellent. And Toyota really got this car right, I guess, other than the drivetrain in some people's opinions. But front-wheel drive is a lot better than most people talk about. Everybody wants to have those drifto cars, but I don't know. I like a good front-wheel drive car, and I think that they really put this car together really nicely. And this one's a really good model with a little bit of troubles. It is a 1989 after all, and so it's going to have a couple of little finicky things. And so this video is going to be a walk-around video of the condition of the car, inside, outside, and around. It was bought from auction for export to the USA. And look at this. Tom's wheels, original, authentic Tom's wheels. Very cool, and they are Aero wheels. They were put on, I think, in 1997, because those tires are 1997, still with some tread on them. And they have the coolest name for a tire ever, a tire that's no longer in production, G-Grid. Love it. Okay, so this is a 4AGZE engine. The Z means turbocharger. Toyota didn't make an awful lot of, supercharger. And Toyota didn't make an awful lot of supercharged engines. And then the supercharger version of this is really going to give it a lot more of that low down torque that the 4AGE is missing anyway. And so I think it's a cool thing. People from the 86 people, I think that they like these engines to swap into the AE86. It's nice to find a nice low mileage one, unadulterated. Is that right? Unadulterated car. 91,000 original kilometers, so super low mileage on this. Supercharged one doesn't put out an awful lot of power, especially since superchargers don't like revving so much, and the 4AGE loves revving, and so that's kind of the Achilles heel of this engine, but you get a lot more torque and it's much more drivable in this generation. And so I think it puts out 145 horsepower. I might be a little bit off there. You can see the top mount intercooler, superchargers down in there. So supercharger, in case you don't know the difference between a supercharger and a turbocharger, a supercharger is kind of like a belt-driven air compressor, whereas a turbocharger is like an exhaust-driven air compressor. Interestingly, we don't have a distributor anymore. We have coil packs, and so 1992 coil packs would have been a big deal. See, there's where the distributors used to go. Instead, it is a little sensor to know how fast that your engine is turning around. Oh, and yeah, fog lights in the headlights. It's a little bit difficult to see, but only the fog lights are on there. They're yellow, and then the headlights are off. And this car has a gorgeous shape. I love the super low deck there, kind of sporty two-door coupe body style. Supercharger. That's cool. And the valve cover even says Supercharger on it too, if you look in there. But you can't really see in there very well. And then they call this the red top engine, is the AE92 version. And so ports are a little bit different size. It's a good engine. Some people will put, I can't do that from here. Some people will put a turbocharger on this instead of the supercharger because it has the lower compression pistons in it. And it's a lot easier to convert this engine into a turbocharged one than it is to take a regular 4AGE and put a turbo on it, which some people also do. Okay, so a lot there that I spoke about. I'm going to go over the condition of this now and compare it to the auction sheet here. Yeah, it looks so good. I love the color, I love the wheels, and I love the looks of it. And just, the interior is so good too. I'm elated looking at this car, especially being a long-time Toyota fan, especially of the early 90s Toyotas. So let's go over the auction inspection sheet. And so it's Corolla Levin, 1.6 liter engine. GTZ is the supercharged version of it. Auction grade R, because it's been in an accident. Interior C, but I would highly give this a B. 91,945 kilometers. Has plates on it, as you can see. And these plates are old style plates. And so this car has been registered for like at least 20 years. I would even go so far as to say that it's probably a one-owner car, but they don't know for certain. The seller said it's a one-owner, but they don't have the history papers to prove it. These are the sales points from the seller. Supercharged car. And you could up the supercharger capacity if you wanted by changing the size of the pulley, but overdriving is not necessarily a good idea. If you're looking for a tuned engine, you would really want to convert it to a turbocharge. But out of the box, this is a really nice car to begin with. Aftermarket wheels, Tom's. It says no smoking car, but they couldn't prove it. There is a no smoking sign inside, and it doesn't smell like cigarettes. In fact, it has the new car smell, which is really weird for a car this old. And then the car, it says here that the car was put into like a little garage with a shutter, but they also cross that out because there's nowhere to prove it. Comes with history papers from 2000, 2002, 2004, 2006, 2008, 2010, and 2014, all done from the Toyota dealer. Owner's manual, and comes with warranty papers. The warranty papers don't have the little stamp that comes from the dealer, which is a little bit weird, but some of them don't. Some dealers just don't do that. It comes with a lock nut that's going to be sent to the buyer. Registration expires in 2018. 2018 December. The registration is expired. In 2018 July, the air conditioner compressor had been changed, so it converted from an R12 ruin the atmosphere version of AC to R134, which is not ruining as much, I guess, and it was done at a Corolla dealership. Corolla is the name of a dealership here in Japan, which is a little bit weird. They have Toyota Corolla, and they have like Toyota Nets and Toyota something else. They have different types of dealers. Report here, so headliner is dirty, interior is dirty, underside has some corrosion. Now I did take some underside pictures of it. It looked fairly clean to me, but I can't see everything from just looking at the car on the ground. Exterior has paint fade. This is one of the cars, actually really the only car's big problem, exterior paint fade. We have a little bit on the roof, which you can't really notice that much. Zoom out. A lot of it on this side, and you unfortunately will have to paint it. Look at the color difference between the fender and the door. And it has these weird little, looks like scratches. And this is a common Toyota thing. They fixed it up after about 5 years of using this style of paint. It's right when a metallic paint was starting to become a thing. And it has small metallic, here you can see a better angle of it. They use these small metallic particles, and the type of, I guess, paint / clear coat combination just was, after 10 years, it would all get all faded and weird. And it's funny because Mercedes-Benz has the same problem, but they had the problem in the year 2000, so I guess they didn't learn from Toyota's mistakes. Okay, so where are we at on here? Various small scratches and dents on the car, and here's the accident damage, these things here. So that's a right front inner panel dented, right front side member dented. Rear panel, one part has been replaced, and the accident was on the front and the rear, causing the replacement of the hood, the fender, and the door on the other side. This one had been repainted, and this one had been repainted, and we have a bit of scuff there with a large scratch down there. So I'm going to go over that in a sec. First off, going to do once around. Love the look of it with the supercharger vent there. This is the same engine as is found in the AW11 Supercharged MR2. I don't know exactly what the differences would be between the MR2 version of the engine and the AE92 version of the engine. And in case you are interested, this is AE92, and then there is AE101, and then there is AE111. And if you want to see what that looks like, I have one parked over here. Hello, city. I still love you. Here it is. Levin BZR instead of GTZ. Come on, Toyota. You're confusing me. This one has one of the best engines of all time from Toyota. But we have a video of that. In fact, a driving video of that on the channel in case you missed it. Okay. So, I kind of prefer the looks of this one, though. I'm a 90s kid. this is the Super Famicom or Super Nintendo version of the car, because that's, I mean, Super Nintendo came out when? 1992? 1992? These would have been on sale as a new car in 1992. Yeah. Dad comes home with his new car, and you're playing Super Mario World. And those wheels are nice. And I like how they didn't lower the car. And I bet you that these wheels are fairly expensive if they're in good condition. And these ones are in good condition. And I think they suit the car because they're very much of the era style wheels. And I love the two-tone in them. Oh, my car has a supercharger. Does your car have a supercharger? I don't think so. It's not a fast car, but incredibly fun to drive. I remember I had a friend who drove the non-supercharged version in Canada, the Corolla GTS, the 92. Not 1992, like AE92 generation of it. And he owned a CRX beforehand at that time. And then this person said that the Corolla GTS is just a better driving car. And everybody knows how much they love the CRX. And I would agree. I think that this is a better driving car than a CRX. And very similar in terms of front-wheel drive, 1.6 liter, two-door coupe. These are a little bit bigger, but weight is fairly similar. Oh, and the interior, very nice. Okay. Fantastic that the seats are still in original condition, because that's a big problem with Toyota seats from this generation. A lot of the Toyota seats would end up ripping in the bolster here, or pulling seams up here, or getting massively saggy or ripping down here. It's so soft, it feels like somebody's used an extractor machine on it recently too. Steering wheel, just about no wear on it. And everything just feels so good inside this car. The way that the gear shifter works, the way the suspension works, the throttle response, the brakes, the layout of everything, how high the steering wheel is, how your seat can be adjusted. You know, it's hard to just take a look at numbers on cars and then go, yep, this car beats this car. Because it's only 145 horsepower, but it feels fun. The 8.6 is the same way, only 120 horsepower in the 8.6, so it feels so fun. Original floor mats, high plush Levin floor mats, aftermarket stereo unit there, AC, and the AC works, oil pressure is good, focus is not good, dashboard's not cracked. It's not a 90s Japanese car unless the dashboard is cracked. And look, no, too dark to get focus. There we go. Add zest. Yeah, because there are add zest speakers in the back here. Okay. Giant door openings make it really easy to get into the back. Very similar to the 8.6 in that respect. And I just want to go driving in the mountains in this car. Can I just have like a little bit of an emotional time with this? They say nostalgia is a bad thing, but I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. Pretty big trunk here. Some pilling in the carpet. I guess that's one of the problems with the car. Spare tire underneath is there and no rust or anything. Old style analog antennas. So if you want to be like a transformer. Look at me. My car is remote control. You can like convince people that your car is remote control with these. People don't leave them on their car anymore because for the last like 6 years, this type of TV wasn't, like, they shut down the network. And so you used to be able to watch TV in your car. And oddly, the head unit, I don't know if you saw, it has like 3 different TV settings. You could, I don't know, potentially have 3 different TVs running on it. Levin. And this like 2-tone with, or like I guess 3-tone. And can we get a focus? Focus. We can't. It's like dotty. I don't know what it is about the dottiness, but it makes me happy. Yes. I approve of this car, and I would love to have one myself. And it is a little bit sad that this is not my car and needs a little bit of a paint job on one side. But it's a car that more people need to pay attention to. And so this video went over longer than it should have. Me gushing over somebody else's car, but I'm so sorry about that. So if you're interested in knowing more about this, you can check out our website on how to import your own cars and stuff. Everyone who watches this channel kind of knows how it goes anyway, but thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the videos and have a nice day.